Alright, greetings, thank you for joining us. That's broadcast. Okay, this is going to be a little bit different, or maybe not. I don't know. So this is Orion, Felines of ancient Egypt. Actually, it should be. Well, we'll go into that. Then stock market, modern human, basically manipulation. I'll do a little bit more of that, of how they created the modern human program. That's going to be a short connection there. And then Phoenicians is the main, Phoenicians. I haven't even talked about the Phoenicians. That just never crossed my mind or crossed my path, you can say. Before we go into that, you become an update where I'm at this time. I don't know where I'm at this time. ZionTar.com, we have private sessions. Shop here. I'm on the 8th. Same situation here. The 8th, and this is the 22nd. Webinar tomorrow. A webinar video from last Saturday uploaded tomorrow also. Rabbit, girl marries a sandwich. Behind the scenes and dating site. Okay, enough of that. So the stock market stuff then kind of hit me a little bit hard, which is not bad. You can say it's like I feel like the elites are wanting more information out there. If you're willing to take the pain for it, you don't mind taking a beating. So most of it's going to be information. Where we're going is basically it depends on the individual if you're willing to dig more into your reality. So that would change modern spirituality, and people have been doing this already, but it seems like more of these beings that are allowing more to come through than they have in the past. So let's just see where that goes. So I got a message like at 3 o'clock in the morning. About feline, I would say Orion beings or Orion beings that were not friendly during the time of Egypt, that manipulated the pharaohs where they gave them no choice to either it's our way or we'll just wipe you out and put somebody else in charge, something like that. So when Egypt became darker, that's when the pharaohs were conceived. Of course, a lot of Atlantean knowledge is still hidden, of course. Little pieces will come out little by little, but not the full story, most likely. Of course, what was before Atlantis is pretty much blocked for obvious reasons. Of course, people connect to different versions, and who knows. Because we had the feline presence, you have the Sphinx, and that was probably most likely a feline. One time, feline was being worshipped by humans. When things got dark. I believe there's also more feline statues in Egypt, but I believe a lot of them got destroyed, is the feeling I'm getting. But you do have a lot of Sphinx statues all through Egypt, and that's pretty much the human and the feline combined. So you can say that felines are refugees, or it feels like a lot of them came from Lyra, and they're pissed off. They connected to the Orions and just cause all kinds of mayhem. So people are looking for an awakening, like the new Earth and everything, but you got to get rid of a bunch of stuff too. So that was the other thing I was getting. It's like, versus like the pyramids in Egypt are probably the strongest pyramids in the world, from what it feels like. So if you deactivate it, I kind of feel like they are activated. It's part of creating our reality. The feeling of it is. So either you deactivate the thing or you remove it. Make that, use nicer terms. So we have to take everything we have and throw it out. everything. Obviously, for us to evolve, right? So, now how long does that take? Is well, like the cities need to go, and a lot of stuff has to go. So this is like the new, or this has been around already, but more of the I feel the next form of spirituality of actually doing something, or just more alternative versions of the history, or just more of that coming through. I'm not going to be able to obviously prove a lot of it because you're not, I mean, you can on a vibrational level, it's true, but you just got to know your own truth basically. It's going to be some hard, yeah, a lot of stuff's hard truths that they haven't started with. That we're not really, our culture is not set up for the hard truths, like really what's going on here. I mean, we're getting in that direction, but it's really not. It's not pleasant, and it's some people are blocking, like in the spiritual communities, like the higher, more powerful ones are, and they know what they're doing. But what needs to become through, the truth will prevail. Let's put it that way. It'll find its way. It'll find a way eventually. But yeah, it's just a whole nother coming out of spiritual awakening is going to be a rough one, where things are going to go. So, all right. So do Orion feline energies and the stock market manipulation on humanity basically create our modern human. At least, yeah, this version of it, because they put out vibrations. It's like this is the way you need to be. They're using numbers too. For stock market, and numbers. Our reality is created by numbers, right? So it's used to manipulate reality. Obviously, for us not to tell Phoenicians. So okay. Yeah, last night was rough. So yeah, it should be see how this goes. So all right, thanks. Here we go. Greetings. We are the Reptilian Collective, part of your world. Yes, you of course believe whatever you want to believe. But yes, your feline is like your for galactic connections, like your super soldier. For some beings, even for reptilians, use felines to manipulate reality. So not many beings trust a reptilian, of course. So they use felines to do it instead. So you either make a truce with them, or it's before of course they use humans here, but it's using a feline energy. Because a lot of felines are seen as friendly for the most part. Of course, some of you are not feline animal lovers, not cat lovers, and there's a reason for it, especially when you have a feline invasion. So in your planet, it was done gracefully. The feline basically was, yes, a teacher of the modern human, you can say, always a part of it. And how the felines basically dictated how they wanted, what they wanted from the human. Your mannerisms, your language, just, but obviously you're always giving back to the gods. Those that allow the sun to come up for night to happen, and to basically keep you alive. Because there's basically a lot of famine and a lot of, yes, manipulation in your past floodings done by feline beings and other beings, but the feline very much was kind of like a dictator and hidden. It's just a lot of truths that humanity is up to humanity discover on their own. But as you go further into reality, what's connected to your ancient kings, there's always a feline presence there because a lot of your humans are very similar to feline humanoids. As for your personalities, character, hair, looks, you're very much a feline race when it comes down to it. A Weirin race that failed. So there are some feline beings that use the human that looks like you. They use humans to manipulate realities. Same as they're doing on your planet. It worked on other planets, they're doing it here. So why are these felines doing this? They feel that, well, they want to own the universe. Can you imagine that, king of a universe, which is very egotistical? But why not? The strong will last. So what humans are wanting now is to strengthen up, to power yourself up, to basically connect to these alien beings, to face them. To now, yes, channel their energies, but eventually to have face-to-face contact with them. No longer this channeled message where you're actually connecting. And there might be possibly some combat with humans and aliens, a possibility. As basically your memories come back. So you are allowed to become more, little by little, your memories to come back with where you came from, why the world is the way it is. So there is going to be some conflict in the future. It has to be. Well, some of you will feel neglected by alien beings. Some of you have a lot of distrust for alien energies, which is quite understood. Well, there's a lot of betrayal within them. Well, yes, because they use their looks, and just like humans do, they use their charm to get what they want. And they did that during the time of Atlantis also. So Atlantis was conned by con artists. And that con is still going on today. You're here to release it from your timeline. It's not so easy now, is it? Sometimes the truth is brought in, but it's so unbelievable. Obviously, many look the other way. So it's up to you what you decide. But the information is going to continue to come through if you like it or not. Some of these truths are just very difficult to take in, of course. Especially, yes, reptilians are seen as vicious, but the feline just walks right in and takes over a room just like that. With charm, compassion, technologies, and then slowly realize that feline's not friendly, is it? Yeah, so humans got conned. Yeah, felines can come in all beautiful, angelic, like an angel. Like, oh, look at this human. Hello, how are you? And then make a friendly connection. And then over time realize this being is not friendly, is it? Oh, it's not. That gives you a little bit of a glimpse of how this works. And they obviously have put their pressure on humanity to win over this earth. It's not just them, there are others, but they play a key to it. Once again, you learn their mannerisms. You actually have their words. Of course, you have all these different words, but you have a lot of their language here. Once again, hair, even skin color. So another way to trap a planet is to bring a human, because humans are more complicated. Humans are easy to shut down than actually an animal being, like a feline being. There's more difficult. A canine race is more difficult. You can weaponize it, but then you can't control the things. You can take over a canine world and turn canines against each other, but then those that are ruling the planet get wiped out themselves. So with humans, it's a little bit more understood of how to weaponize a human. So if you want to invade a planet, you use the human to do it. Of course, yes, you bring in a human race, you develop it, they just, sprout out. Oh, look, they have this brand new human. And you have feline beings that come and manipulate the hell out of them. There's different ways of going about it. This has been going on for a long time. But you are also allowed more information of unlocking your planet once again. Not easy to achieve, of course. The Egyptians, well, they had no choice, of course not. All your Egyptians were Atlantean beings. It's like either turn around or go with it. Some of them felt like they can do some good here, but obviously did not work out so well. There was also talk of even just destroying Egypt altogether due to what was happening. That's what happened to Babylon. And the same thing could have happened to Egypt. So yeah, understanding trickster energies will eventually come known to you. Of how friendly, yes, even like the mosquitoes, the viruses in Egypt, because there's still some diseases there. Through insects done on purpose to keep you out of there, basically. Greetings. We got the Archons. Can I do yes to your stock market? We are, yes, one of many. Develop your modern human. Yes, your thoughts, prayers, how you're supposed to look, the fashion of human. Because the stock market is basically, oh, look, this is trendy. Well, it's manipulated to be trendy to begin with. Just like anything else. Oh, everyone should buy into this. Clothing, the automobile is pushing trends right in front of you. When humans think they have control, do you really? Where'd the internet come from? It came from military. Of course it did. Which also came from alien energies. Which is a good thing, but also it shows, yes, there's a lot of connections here. You are allowed to know more about yourself little by little. The architecture of your reality. Yes, many are having trouble getting their mind around a stock market or any financial world that's ruling you. Those are the dictators of your current reality, while your financial institutions are Anunnaki on different levels. While there are in Israel also. So yes, trends. It's all about trends. It's about controlling society into how to look, how to present yourself. What is called professionalism? Where do you think that was invented? By your controllers. So this is why some of you are just lazy. You don't want anything to do with it. You make mistakes all the time because you don't want to be a part of this system. You don't have the best lighting. You don't always look all so wonderful, unshaven, whatever. It's done on purpose. You just do it on an unconscious level. So the breakaway is soon to come, more of it. Little by little, the tidal waves of information about your reality most likely will find yourself eventually. Yes. There's little pieces of where your world came from. There's hints here and there, but not the full story. Of course not. Is you're going to a time of basically reconnecting to yourselves. But to do that is, yes, technically rejecting this reality, or you can say understanding it where it comes from. It is on a galactic level. But to see also, some of these beings do this just to see what you'll do. Some beings become evil, as you would call it, dark, just to cause humans trouble, just for the hell of it. Just to see what you can get out of this race. And then they go back being nice again. There's a lot of that. It's like, we see your potential, but you're not reaching it, so we're going to turn you all evil. Turn you all against each other. So, yes, feelings in the background. So you're going into a new phase. Yeah, so getting to know yourselves again. So there's the Phoenicians here, so we'll bring those energies and blessings. Greetings. We are the Phoenicians connecting to you. Yes, we are part of your alphabet. We are, yes, an alien race, not necessarily of a true origin. We're part of many different races of your planet. It was basically to help you find yourselves. We're not there for war, but yes, we got corrupted like any other race, but a lot of it was for genetic engineering, such as slavery. It was to just basically to take different human, different races of human and yes, enslave them, but also have them, create another, you know, so now you have your royal family and things like that. Let's put it that way. To mix you all together. So our race, yes, was not here for very long. It wasn't that. It's basically to teach fundamentals, as we have seen this on other planets. You can call us the Phoenicians. You can call us whatever you want. Actually, we are part of different races, but Phoenicians is a good color for us or a name. As yes, we did work from with color also on garments to attract royalty, to build a royalty. So yes, there was a darkness that came into our reality, but it's like if your world is going to be dark, we're going to help you lead the way, find yourselves. You can always free yourself from it, but many chose not to. It's like, how far can we go in this direction? Go into the madness of what has been brought here. Just, but a lot of the skills that are being developed here, you basically help the universe rediscover itself. It's like this planet is like a renaissance of the universe. Yes, it might be a nightmare world on many levels, but it also has a lot of, it takes a lot of higher dimensional beings and for them not to be so lazy. Because the higher dimensional beings get lazy very, very easily. So it's basically to show their usefulness, their skills on different levels. At the third dimension, it's basically a lot of higher dimensional beings. You can say we're kind of forced here to see what other talents they have. And so, yes, the good, bad, whatever it is, it's just to see what they have. It's just basically your planet was opened up for all these reincarnations from different star systems to incarnate here to see what you can shape this world into at this third dimensional level, at this low vibrational level, and where, yeah, what is potential. And of course, a lot of things have been hidden in your past. Not everything is being told for obvious reasons. They want to show us this all pain and suffering. And there was a lot of that, but there's also a lot of connections to the higher realms that happen here in the third dimensional level or higher dimensional energies truly that would never ever connect to a third dimensional world found this place home. And yes, they indulge in their dark side, but also they brought a lot of good. So you got, and yes, the Phoenicians are also connected to Tartarians, but it kept it quiet, of course. Ship builders also help with your war effort later on, as we learned what war was, because a lot of us we did different types of manipulations, but not the war in general. But our connections here is basically to unlock the potential of the human race at this level to help you find yourselves. Now, humanity could have, yes, risen to higher frequencies, but obviously our group was manipulated by several different reptilian races where things became unnatural, where we didn't need to exist anymore, which we were pretty much buried from history. Because a lot of this were higher dimensional beings in a human form. As we're going to bring more future knowledge to your Earth to basically to help you move you forward, but then we got erased from history. Because they were similar to the Greeks where we were inventors also. Of course, there's a lot of that in your history. Even with ancient Egyptians, they were thinking about planes and things like that. Don't think that no one just thinks about it. No one thinks about flight. Everyone just sits around all day, and not at all. The flight has been something they've always been trying to conceive, but history has been erasing it throughout, forever. So we're actually at a third dimensional level. Our potential was to, yes, you can be a third dimensional being, but also connect to very advanced skills. And that was really the goal. But a lot of that got shut down due to reptilian, some feline, but mostly reptilian races. Well, they wanted our skills, but they wanted us to be under. So a lot of our energies are within the royalty races now. So you look up Phoenicians and you feel the vibrations of us. We're part of many royal families across the world. I would help in much of their development. When you start with nothing and now you have everything. We also worked with plumbing during our time. And it's just that our connections, we're going to combine more with Egypt or take over Egypt actually at one time, but that got ended very quickly. We're not conquerors, but we are influencers. As they were wearing, Egyptians were wearing a lot of our creations, our clothings, and our customs. So yes, it would have been a different world if we weren't erased from history. So your connections now is remembering your past and seeing more of your future. Yes, you're going into a time of the Egyptians want to heal themselves. That's why they're speaking more about the felines. There's much regret. There's compromise here. Some of you are here to bring compromise to the astral plane. So if you're channeling Egyptian beings or talking, most likely you're connecting to them in the astral plane. Like world of Egyptian, just Egyptian realities, like one after the other. And those are a lot of your Illuminati cities, yes. Illuminati worlds are Egyptian-like, some form of it. But yes, their pyramids fly, though. Well, there's different. Usually they fly. They're like spaceships. It is. You have an alien race from your planet goes because even the Atlanteans, they've been to worlds where they've been in like Egyptian type of realities, and they just can't get enough of it. It's like a Renaissance planet. They're learning so much from it. So of course they know about these places. Of course they're going to bring it to your world eventually. Do they know what they're getting into is another story. Because they thought they knew what they were getting into, but Egyptians, they upgrade themselves. They change themselves. So if you bring in a pyramid, oh, this is an upgraded pyramid. There's something else going on with this thing that you weren't aware of. So there's different ways of unlocking your planet. Some are having difficulties believing in it. Well, this is when you go into more of your astral self. Especially go into Egyptian astral worlds for just amazing places. Seductive, yes. There's also Anunnaki there. Some are Babylonian, but usually Egyptian energy is more seductive because that's where a lot of the manipulation happens on other planets. Usually, yes, your human is used. I mean, there have ancient Egyptians landed on a planet and just taken over. Yes, it does exist. Pluto has some of that energy there. Of course, you're not seeing it, but this is, yes, trusting yourselves. This planet, yes, is a little bit of all these other worlds, not all of them, but a lot, and you're slowly unlocking. And some, yes, have to heal the ego. You have a lot of childish starseed beings here, yes. They're here for the energy. They're here to shift the energy into alien environment, but doesn't mean they haven't grown up. The ego is still high and bright. Well, they come from higher dimensional worlds where they've been spoiled so much. And so but they can handle the Earth's energy. So just because they shift the energy to a higher frequency doesn't mean you can get along with them. It's like lights on a building. It's just sometimes it works with conversation, a lot of times it doesn't. You don't realize, yeah, you're going to see things much differently. So, yes, if you connect to a star seed group that's alien connected and some of them are completely arrogant, they have a lot of difficulties. Yes, but it's the vibration they bring here because they can handle, once again, they can handle this world's vibration. Because a lot of alien beings cannot handle this place. They're here for 2 days, they can't handle it. They incarnate here, like I'm 5 years old and I can't take this anymore. So if you can make it to like 20 years old, that's saying something. You're a star seed being. If you can make it to 30, that's saying something. You haven't lost your mind completely. So yes, you're taking what you can get here to elevate the vibrations. Doesn't mean you're going to get along with all of those starseed people. It's difficult. Yeah, some of them, once again, are very spoiled. Are not difficult to heal. Well, it's hard to heal someone who thinks they know everything. But sometimes you need a being that lives in a fantasy world of knowing everything to be on a planet like this to keep their sanity. So think of it as a protection, protecting themselves. It's like as long as they think they're in the cubicle of I know everything, that's a safety net. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's difficult to be around them, but that's some of you imagine had run-ins with that type of energy. It's like, wow, why does that person have such a? They're so alien connected, but what's with the ego? It's because they're trying not to drown here. It makes sense when you have an alien person here. It's so difficult to be involved with it because this is not your environment. This is not your normal environment at all. As many of you know, that's why you're having so much difficulties here. But that will change over time.